Hello, it's Mike here on my Nintendo 64. The latest 20.0.0 update for the Nintendo Switch has officially introduced virtual game cards and game lending along with some other changes. Users who have downloaded the new update will now be able to eject their virtual game cards and lend them to friends and family members on their Nintendo Switch Online family plan. Now this sounds great on paper, but unfortunately the execution of this has left quite a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, and for good reason. So here I am on the home menu. If I go to virtual game cards down here in the bottom, the menu, which users virtual game cards would you like to view? Well, I'd like to see mine, for example. Wait for it to load up, and then you can see all the digital games that I own. Now those that have a little black and white icon in the bottom right hand corner, that means that the game is not on the system, it is ejected. But those that have a green or turquoise coloured icon means it is on the system. Now any of these games, like if I click 36 Fragments of Midnight, I can load it onto this console, I can load to another console, I can lend to a family group member, and I also have options as well. So if I load it to this console, it will just simply download onto the system. Boom. And away you go. There it is. It's now downloading in the background. And, you know, that's fantastic. When it comes to lending or to load it onto another console, you have to have that console with you in person. So load to another console. There are no other consoles that the virtual game can be loaded to. You will need to pair this console with the console you want to load the virtual game card to. And then it will teach you how to pair. On the console you'd like to pair, open the virtual game cards from the home menu, select the desired virtual game card, then select load this to this console. Pairing instructions will be displayed. So they will automatically be displayed for you as you try to pair them. Okay, so what about lending to a family group member? Now, those that are on your Nintendo Switch Online family plan, you can lend games to any of them up to 14 days. Okay. So as you can see, here are the members of my family plan. So let's, for example, we say Jack M64, my bro. I'd like to lend this to him. Okay. You have to have the consoles together in person in order to lend a game from your system to the other. Now that sounds fine. It's like, okay then, well, if my brother wants to, borrow the game, great, no problem. Go meet up with him, trade the game over. The problem is that we live in different countries. So, I live in Spain, he lives in the UK. Getting together to trade a game is not going to be possible. And also the same with my sister. My sister also lives in the UK. I've got friends that live in the UK who are also on my plan. Fortunately, I do have a couple of friends that live in the next town from me who I can, share games with, but I still have to meet up with them in person in order to do that. And yet, when the 14 days are up, the game will automatically come back to me. So I don't see why Nintendo couldn't just do that in the first place, and just have the games be shared automatically. If they're on your family plan, if they're already linked to your account, you shouldn't have this step in the middle. Basically, to trade virtual games, you have to be in a physical space. It's weird, but they could improve upon that, and also, because that's only people that you have on your family plan, I can't see why they can't extend it to, your friends as well, or even best friends. So if I go, for example, to my M64, profile page, and I can see my friends list, I've got a number of people here who are on my friends list, and some that I'm even, best friends with. So like Jay Ober, he's not on my family plan, but we are best friends. Why can I not be able to send him a game? Or you'll lend him, a game. It's weird. I don't know why they've, tried to do it this way. Hopefully they will, sort it out in the future so that you don't have to, be in person to lend games to other people. Because now I know a lot of families or people who've got family plans, most likely are going to be parents with young children. Maybe they've each got their own systems. Now, to be fair, if there's only one system in the household, they're all going to be playing on the same console anyway. So unless they've got 2 or 3 systems and they want to lend games in between themselves, okay. But normally you're going to end up playing on the same system anyway. So it makes more sense that a lot more people out there that are going to get the full benefit of the Nintendo Switch Online family plan are those that do not live in the same household, and they can share their games with friends or family members on their family plan who happen to live in other places. But anyway, hopefully Nintendo will, you know, fix this, because I do think it's something that needs to be fixed. I mean, it is great for, you know, the principle, the general idea to be able to lend games to people on your family plan. That's great. But when there's so many people out there who, you know, don't live in the same physical space as, you know, other members of their, you know, family plan, it's going to be a wasted feature. It is going to be totally underutilized, and I hope that Nintendo will, you know, sort it out and, you know, allow virtual game cards to be lent, you know, online. Just send it. If you're online, you can always send a message to a friend to say, turn your console on, I'll lend you this game. If you're both, you know, connected online, you can see it come up in the corner. You can see who's online and whatnot, can't you? So, like, my page here, I can see that Prismatic's online, Dreamboat's online, you know. So once they're online, and you know, and then go to the thing, right, virtual game cards, where it says to lend. Make it, you know, two options. You could have the option that you could share it in person, or even like, okay, select a user to lend to. You can have that, or you can have another option at the bottom to say friends, best friends. So like here we got, how do I add family group members? They could also have another option there to say, you know, send to friend or best friends. So hopefully, you know, like I said before, Nintendo sort this out, and if not, well, well, I guess it's going to be a feature that not many of us use. So thank you very much for watching this video, and until next time, keep on gaming.